This is Pop Culture Unplugged on Kane TV, and here again is Assad Watkins.
Welcome to Pop Culture Unplugged. I'm Asad Watkins, and on today's episode, we'll discuss the story world of television. Unlike music or fashion, television has only existed in the pop culture lexicon for about a century, but is the only medium that can make us feel like we're right there in the moment, witnessing history unfold as it happens. Television has introduced us to unforgettable characters, groundbreaking stories, and iconic moments that we still revisit and mean to this day. From the earliest black and white broadcasters that brought families together around bulky living room sets to the golden age of sitcoms and Saturday morning cartoons, television has always reflected who we are. It documents our fears, our humor, our aspirations, and our contradictions. It shapes culture just as much as it reacts to it. Think about how many shared experiences began on television: the moon landing, major political debates, emergency broadcasts, championship games, season finales, even reality shows meltdowns. Some moments unite millions of people at once. Others spark debates that last for decades. Television has a strange, powerful ability to become part of the background of our daily lives, yet they still leave these permanent marks on our collective memory. And as TV evolved, so did the way we watch it. We went from adjusting rapid ear attendance to scrolling through endless streaming platforms. We moved from appointment viewing to binge watching entire seasons in a single weekend. And though every era of television has adapted, reinvented itself, and found new ways to engage audiences. Here with us today is a keen grad with years of on-field experience in television. She is currently working as a field schedule coordinator for NBC Sports and made time for her out of her day to join us. Please welcome the most beautiful Jess Crown. Pleasure to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself. What was your path on the journey to, pursue television?
Yeah, I started at Kane University. I took communication classes. I loved it. I knew that I never wanted to work at a full desk job. I knew that that wasn't for me. So working in TV, you get to be out, you get to be on the field, you get to be standing. It just seemed more interesting to me.
What were some of your fondest moments being a communication major at Kane? Just working with television, I don't know if you were filming a sports game, doing a short, like a show like we're doing right now. What were some of your fondest memories?
Actually doing something just like this. We did the same project. I remember for me, this exact show, we did like a take on the show Friends, and we did it, we called it Strangers, and we just made it like college friends, but you don't really know them. So I remember doing that, and it was a lot of fun.
What year did you graduate, Keen, actually?
2016.
2016. And what was your first year on, like, your own job experience? What was your first time?
Well, actually, I graduated. I wound up working in radio shortly after for a little while. And then I was there for a few years. COVID hit, and I lost that job. And working in a field like this, they weren't hiring during COVID because nothing was really happening. So I wound up not working for a few years in the field. I was like babysitting. I wound up getting my job at NBC Sports 3 years ago.
And tell us a little bit more about that. What is the day-to-day basis at NBC Sports?
Yeah, well, it's funny I say that I didn't really want a desk job, and that is kind of what I have now because I hire all of the operators. So I do sit at a desk, I do work in Excel, but it is cool because they will send me on site sometimes as well. So I get to do a little bit of both, but it's a lot of contacting crew, all the camera operators who do like the video, the audio, graphics. I will call them, ask their availability for whatever event we have coming up, and then I send all of that to our travel department, who will then book hotel, flight, rental cars if needed, and all of that.
Was it always your goal to get on television? Because I know sometimes, as a young kid, we have dreams and aspirations that don't always end up going where we need to. So was television always a part of your journey, or did you have something else in mind and then switch?
No, actually always. Growing up, I felt like I was never good at math. I was never good at any of that. I didn't want anything to do with it. And even as a kid, I would like steal my mom's video camera, make my own videos. Danny has been a part of some of those as well. But it was always a goal of mine to wind up in the field somehow.
And so, like you said, it was always in the goal of yours. What can you say, what advice can you give to future people that want to work in television, like myself or anybody else in the communications major?
I feel like it's cliche to say not to give up, but I truly, truly do mean that. When I was just babysitting throughout those years of COVID, I applied to, at least 500 jobs, and it was very discouraging for a really long time. I felt like you had to know somebody in the industry. I worked at a daycare. I did know people, parents that would send their kids to the daycare that worked in the fields, and they had gotten me interviews, and knowing them did nothing. Like they tried their hardest, and it didn't get me the job. I honestly just applied on LinkedIn and got the job. I did it all by myself. And so you don't need to know somebody in the field. I won't say that it doesn't help. It could, but for me, it didn't.
What are some of like the best moments or memories you have working at NBC Sports?
Over the summer, so I work in college football is what I'm doing. So I did all the Notre Dame games this season. I did all the college football games. They sent me to Michigan for the opening game at Michigan Stadium. It was very, very cool. Yeah.
And just overall, that experience of, working those college football games, like, how does it feel, like, knowing that, like, you're really directing this? Like, you can walk on the stage and you're just directing it in that beautiful atmosphere of a stadium like that in college football.
It's very cool. I love getting to go because I get to meet all of the people that I hire. So it's a lot of just calling this guy, can you work? And he says yes, and I never meet them in person. I don't know what they look like. We talk on the phone, we email. So going on site and getting to meet them all, and then they're all very grateful. Like every time I meet thank you for the work, you've been emailing me for 3 years, it's so nice to finally put a face to the name, and it's very cool.
When you're looking to hire people to shoot the camera or shoot behind the camera, what do you look for? What qualities do you look for? Because overall, I know it's a team effort, so what qualities do you look for?
It's funny because not a lot. It's almost like an honor system. Like we have a core crew that we hire for college football, for Thursday night football, even Sunday night. We have like the core, 20 people that will travel. The video guys, the camera operators, they always like stay the same. If they worked for us before, we do have to hire like local operators as well. So we know that this guy has worked this game the last few times we were in the area, we'll hire them back. If we know a guy that has worked for us, they'll recommend somebody. That's usually just like we trust them. It's just typically if they mess up, then they don't get hired back.
Okay, we'll be back after these messages.
Hi everyone, my name is Mike Arfano, and today we're going to be talking about journalism. In today's world, it's more important than ever to have good news literacy. By that, I mean having the ability to judge and analyze the reliability of news and information. It's also important to sort through the facts to discover what the truth really is. In a world that is consumed by fake news, it's important to know what the truth is and where it is.
The headline might be fake, the first paragraph might be fake.
If writing isn't your strong suit, that's no problem at all. Here at Kane, journalists get the ability to practice and perfect their writing by working for the Tower for a total of 3 semesters. With different focuses like sports writing, feature writing, writing for the web, journalists have so many different options to choose from. So come check us out on the 4th floor of CAS.
Stairs. 4 out of 5 college students suffer from fear of stairs. Whether it be to the 1st floor, the 3rd, or the 6th, the fear is strong. But we need to stop this. We need to work together and conquer these stairs, step by step. So stop taking the elevator, take a deep breath, and take the first step to a new you.
We're back with the beautiful Jess Crown, field scheduling coordinator for NBC Sports. I'd like to go further into your career. If you could take us into a typical workday, which I think we already covered that, but I would like to go more into depth. What do you think is the biggest difference between television now and television back then growing up?
I don't know. Honestly, I'd say the biggest difference, I guess like what goes into it. There's so much that I wasn't aware of. Like I said, like the job that I have, I didn't know existed until I got it. I never thought about how these operators get to where they are. They're just there, but someone has to get them there. And I guess that, yeah.
What do you say is the most difficult part about your job? Because obviously it's a lot of challenges that go within that. You're coordinating, you got to direct other people, and sometimes people tend to not listen. What do you feel like is the most difficult part about your job?
Kind of what you said, yes. So I have laid out the entire schedule for the whole season from August till now. I know where we're going to be for the most part, and I can plan for it. I can hire people months in advance, but of course life happens. So the day of the game, we can have somebody get sick, we can have somebody miss a flight, somebody doesn't show up, and it's like you get a phone call, hey, we need another operator, we need them here in 1 hour, and it's my job to get them there. Like, just because something happened to this person, we have 10 cameras, we need 10 operators no matter what. So it's not like a typical 9 to 5. Those are my hours. But if someone drops out at 1 o'clock on a Saturday, I'm working until I find someone who can be there that night. So it can be, like unpredictable. Yeah.
Okay, and now we go to what do you think is the best part about working at your job?
Oh, I love it so much. The experiences that I get to have. I told you I went to Michigan. NBC gets the Super Bowl in February. They alternate networks every 3 years, so we have it this year. Next year will be Fox and CBS and again, and so I get to go to the Super Bowl in February because of that. So very much looking forward to that.
And directing the Super Bowl, how do you feel about that? Is it?
Well, it would just be, again, like it's hiring the operators, and everyone's very excited. So like that's one of those things. It's a very easy event to crew because everyone wants to work it. It's kind of like once in a lifetime experiences. So.
What do you think is the difference between the job you currently have right now versus the jobs you have in your past?
Prior to this, I worked in radio. It was a little similar. We did events, but it's radio, so it's still a little different. I also worked at a daycare, so I worked with kids. That was a lot, showing up. 20 kids, you got to take care of them. You're teaching them. I loved that, but it was not the end goal for me.
What are some of your favorite ones, or have you ever met any cool people, maybe like celebrities or any top, earners in your field? Like, what are some of the founders, people that you met during working?
So, not through the job I have now, but prior to starting at NBC, I did a lot of freelance events. So I did like the VMAs. I've done like music festivals and those jobs. Like I've met some people. A few years ago, it was on NBC, but it was not because I worked for NBC. They did Annie Live in New York, and I got to work on that for a few weeks. I met Harry Connick Jr. He was in it, and that was very cool. Yeah, it's been fun.
More about that, like the VMAs and stuff like that. Now, we could probably go towards a little bit back towards television. What are some of your favorite shows that you like to watch on a normal basis? Like,
I love like New Girl, like Schitt's Creek, things like that. Nothing too serious, but those are my favorites.
The type of genre of television do you like? Do you like horror? Do you like crime? Do you like drama, action? What is? Like,
also, true crime is my favorite. Yeah, the ID channel is. I'm always watching it.
What is your favorite movie of all time, or top movies that you like?
22 Jump Street. I can't explain it. I never could. It is my favorite. I watch it all the time. I can quote it. It's hilarious, yeah.
Yeah, 22 Jump Street is definitely.
Yeah, 22, like not the first one. It has to be the sequel.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite movies because I feel like even from 21 Jump Street is fun, but 22 Jump Street, it's a
good sequel. I feel like most times you don't get good sequels. You don't, but it's a solid one.
And to continue about sequels, what do you think, like, when people or when directors usually make sequels, what do you think? Why do you think usually the sequels don't be better than the first one or vice versa? What do you think goes into that?
Most times I feel like it's just like a money grab. So they're like, let's make a second one because the first one did so well. And I feel like if you really sit there and think about the story that you want to tell, it could be a good sequel, but you can't rush it. I think that's why. I think it's Will Ferrell who said he'll never make a second Elf because the first Elf was so good. Yeah, he's like, I can't do it. Like, it's not going to be as good. You just want it because people liked it.
And I could tell, like, most times, unless like certain like movie series, they have nice good sequels where you could tell it took time to really produce the sequel. depending on the time span, because the one could be from like 2001 and the next one could be, 10, 15 years later.
Right.
So obviously you see that they took the time to really go into detail, probably get the characters right in the right mental space, get more, side characters, just to design the overall, direct the movie, it's going to take a couple years. So I feel like when it comes to that, yes. But I feel like most of the time, like you said, it do be a money grab.
Yeah.
And just to go off of that, we're gonna go a little bit back to, the Keene students. You said you graduated in 2016, right? What was coming into Keene University as a freshman? How did you feel? Like, what were your thoughts processes going into, transition to a college student? Your first bit of organized work with communications and the cameras and all that.
Starting as a freshman, I was terrified. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen at all. Again, I knew I wanted to work in TV. I didn't know how I was going to make that happen. I think, my first thought was, I'm going to work in movies. I'm going to be a director. I don't want to do that anymore. But that was going into, that was what I wanted to do. And I was like, well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to Keene. I'm in New Jersey. You can't do that. But you can, you definitely can.
Are you from New Jersey?
Yeah.
What part of New Jersey are you from?
Roselle Park. So,
Roselle Park,
yeah,
see
right down the street.
Yeah, that's right there. And what else can I say? Or during your freshman year, like you say, you didn't want to direct or anything. What are some of the things that led you to, becoming the successful coordinator that you are? What are some of the trials and tribulations that you had to go to lead through to make it there? Because I know it wasn't always easy from the start. Being a freshman and kind of being nervous. So what was that?
Oh yeah, definitely not easy. Like I said, I took this class. Terrified. I was a very shy person. I still kind of am. I don't like to talk. I remember again taking this class. This was my biggest fear. Was this day right here. But Danny called and asked me to do this. And I was like, yeah, no, I can do that. I have things to say now. But it's just, like I said, just don't give up on anything that you want to do, honestly.
And we'll be back with more of the Beautiful Just Grown when we come back from this PSA.
Finally Thursday. Tonight's the night. Are you ready?
You know I can't. I have that test tomorrow that I've been talking about.
Cognitive dissonance, huh?
What?
Cognitive dissonance? The state of having two conflicting thoughts.
What?
Basically when you can't decide on something because the two things you want to do are contradictory to each other. So for example, you want to go out, but you know you should study for your test.
And how do I fix this exactly?
You either have to change your beliefs, or you have to change your actions.
Where did you even learn this? I can't even spell cognitive dissonance.
I'm a comm studies major, remember?
Yeah, whatever. Alright, well, I guess I'm staying home because there's no way I'm gonna survive tomorrow without studying.
Whatever. Suit yourself.
Hey, class starts in 5 minutes. You coming?
Yeah, I'll catch up.
You still here?
Oh yeah, I'm coming to class.
Where are you going? Class ended.
Oh.
If you're so glued to your phone, why don't you minor in social media?
Oh. Okay.
Welcome back to the show, Miss Jess. Your journey began right here in this very room right here. How does it feel to be back here?
Really, really cool, actually. I was very excited. It's really cool to see all the updates with all the equipment, the sets. It's very cool.
Looking back on, like I said, your freshman year from now, did you think you would be in this predicament that you are right now?
No, honestly. I was that person who's just, these are the dreams, but they're too big. You're not going to get to them. And don't think like I do. Like, don't think that way.
How did attending Keene help you in finding your path to where you're at right now?
It definitely made what I wanted to do more real. Like I said, I was like, I want to work in TV. I know that I'm going to do that. I didn't know how, and then being in a room like this made me realize I have to do that. So it did play a big part.
That's good. What else do you hope to achieve at NBC and beyond? Because obviously NBC is just not the only goal. You want bigger, achieve bigger and better dreams. So what are your dreams or aspirations outside of that, or to continue to grow?
Yeah, the job that I have, I love it. It is in sports, which is honestly, I never thought I would be in sports. I like it, but I never cared. I was never the biggest sports fan, so even though my friends kind of laugh at me for that, how did I wind up in sports? I think eventually the goal would be to stay with NBC, but maybe transition to more TV, kind of like with Saturday Night Live or Jimmy Fallon or things like that would be the end goal. But I'm very happy where I am right now.
Did you when we're here, did this room look like this?
No. Similar, very similar, but you can definitely see all the upgrades.
I think we kind of went into the topic, but I want to go into a little more detail. What is your biggest advice for Keene students? And we could kind of make it towards everybody in the room, myself, because a lot of us in here are communications major. We want to do something with media and film. What is some of the biggest advice that you could give us?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said before, don't give up. Keep trying. You have these dreams. They are achievable. You don't need to know someone to get into the industry. You don't need to be in California. New York's a huge market. Everything's right here. They're even they're opening Netflix, I think, the studio in Jersey. It's just, there's a lot of opportunities, and definitely don't be afraid to try.
Some people, I know, like you said, I know it's hard, but some people lack confidence. So what do you believe can boost their confidence to get to where they want to be at in the field?
Fake it till you make it. I swear by it. I did this interview for this job. I didn't even think I wanted it, but at a time you get desperate, you need a job. I was like, this is something I can do, and I just went in there. They said, have you ever worked in Excel? Have you done this? I was like, yes, I have. Yep, I've done that. Never. You never have. I didn't know what I was doing. It's true. Just confidence blindly, but yeah.
Now we can take it a little bit back to, let's kind of go to your first day. How did you feel your first day working at NBC? If you could remember, your first day stepping foot on that ground, how does it feel? Were you nervous? What was your thoughts going into your first day?
Terrified. Again, you lack the confidence, but you shouldn't. I was like, I don't deserve to be here. How did I even get this job? Type of thing. I did start out freelance with them, so when I started, it was a temporary 6-month position. So also with a willingness, a needing to prove myself, because I wanted it to become more. So going in knowing I don't really know what I'm doing, but I have to learn as soon as possible. And yeah, just doing that. And then after a year, so they did extend it, I got offered a full-time staff position. And now I've been staff for 3 years. So technically, I guess I've been there 4 years.
In 3 years. How long do you see yourself working at NBC? Do you see it as a long term, maybe 10 to 15 years? Or what are your, what are your goals with the NBC field?
Yeah, so like I said, I would like to stay with NBC, but maybe transition from sports. But I really like the company. I like everything. I like the perks that come with it. I do get to go to 30 Rock sometimes, and that's just such a cool building to even be in. So I think that I would like to transition that way. But then also my commute is in Connecticut because the office is in Stamford, so that's a little bit of a rough commute. So I think it'd be nice to be a little bit closer because I come from Jersey, so getting to New York would be easier.
What are some of the, as you know, I think everybody knows, the NBA has come to NBC, right? What are your thoughts on that? Like the NBA coming to NBC after, I think approximately, it was over 20 years because the NBA used to be on NBC.
Yeah, and
back
they
in
lost
the
it for
90s.
a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like honestly contracts. So like someone else takes it over and it's all it is. But we did just get it back. It's been pretty exciting. I actually don't work with it, but my coworker does. But again, it's the same thing. It's like I'm doing college football, he's doing NBA, and we also just got MLB is coming back next year for the first time in a while, which will be really cool.
Continue on. What are some of the upcoming things that we could see coming from the NBC broadcast?
Yeah.
Any new shows? Any, like I said, the NBA is coming. Any new things that are coming to NBC that we should know?
Well, like I said, so baseball's coming next year, and then the Super Bowl and the Olympics are all going to be.
The Olympics going to be on NBC?
Yeah. So.
And what year?
Busy February.
That's February?
February, yep.
That's nice. Like, to continue on what I was saying, because I feel like me, like, I want to get into communications. Like I said, I want to get into communications. I want to get into the media and film, but I'm kind of stuck in a way where, like, I don't know, like, I don't have a path. What advice can you give for me, for somebody that, like, I have experience with it, because I went to high school and I did TV studio production in high school. Like, that was my major. But I kind of I liked it, but I didn't like it. What are some ways you think I could kind of build up my faith to continue with this?
So before I started working in sports, I didn't know all of the positions that get hired for like these broadcasts. So I mean, obviously, like the cameras, the graphics, all of that. But there's utility positions, and so that's kind of like, I don't want to say like the lowest, but that's like the starting point. So they're the people that help the camera operators. So like we have the handheld cameras. They're kind of running back and forth on the field. Their utilities are holding the wires, making sure no one's tripping over them. Or we have these like parab positions. So you hold this like dish kind of. I don't know how else to explain that, but just like this big dish. It's basically, it just picks up sound for the camera operators. It just gives you the experience. It gets you like on the field during a football game. It gets you to meet the camera operators. You can even like talk to them, and sometimes they will give you advice there. But that gets you, it kind of gets like your foot in the door. And that's where I would suggest like maybe starting something like that.
Thank you. This concludes today's episode. I want to give a special thanks to Miss Jess Crown for stopping by and giving us her perspective. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes for all their hard work, and to you, the viewers, for staying with us. There has been Pop Culture Unplugged. Take care.